And welcome to the beautiful Glenelg Lacrosse Club here. Apologies, just having a bit of a technical issue with the roving mic. We have the 6v6 game here, which is the new proposed Olympic game. And the girls out in the middle at the moment on what is a really small field. And they have the SA All-Stars versus the Australian Under-19 team. And joined in commentary this evening by Mr. Stefan Guerin. G'day, Steph. How are you, mate?
Yeah, good, mate. Good to be here.
It's going to be over in a blink, this particular game. Obviously, 8-minute quarters, and there'll be a 2-minute break for the first quarter, 5 minutes for the half-time. Couple of the rules for this game. There is no first on unless the ball hits the keeper or the cross or the bar. If the ball is shot, there's a 45-second shot clock starting as we see the first centre draw here taken by SA All-Stars, and that is going to come off and Australia, but the ball will be picked up. So right now the shot clock starts. We have a 45-second shot clock from the time they take the ball possession as the ball comes down here to Indy Williams. Good check there. Ball to be won on the ground. So going to be very transitional if this game is anything to go by. Steph did a bit of work with the under-15s before they went away to the Gold Coast. And initially everyone goes a bit like basketball, up and back, which is what they're doing at the moment.
Yeah, it's going to be very quick, very up and down. I can't imagine there'd be too much settle play. It'd be a bit of the old run and gun style.
Yeah, it's funny. The 45-second shot clock seems to do everyone. But 45 seconds, as you know, is a very long time in lacrosse, mate. The amount of time that you take the ball around. And there's the first goal of the evening. So what will happen now is the ball will come out. The keeper has 5 seconds to take it out of the circle. And then the 45-second shot clock will start. So we had the goal scorer there was Eloise Rowe, I believe, for the first one for the under-19 Australian team. So the shot clock actually starts when the keeper steps out. The keeper, after a goal, has 5 seconds to get the ball out and step outside, and an inherent pass there. So the ball will go to bounce, and the keeper will bring it in. So kicks it over to a bit of confusion there as Karen Mortimer puts that one away. Obviously, the ball had been touched and gone out of bounds there off of the keeper's stick there from Scoos. Scoos thought the ball was out and just happened to knock it out. So we see Indy Williams picks the ball up here. Here's the goal scorer again. And good save there from Carly Evans. As Jess Page brings the ball down. And Steph, certainly a bit of basketball going on at the moment.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, up and down real quick. No time to be standing and watching, that's for sure.
And good inside look. And there we go. So there is no first on here for the shot. So if the ball doesn't touch the keeper and or the goal,
it's out of bounds.
It's out of bounds and turns over. So really want to make your shots count. As the ball comes out, Olivia Parker is just chasing Hannah Goff there, and that's a good foot race. as Zephyr Williams with the ball on the bottom corner. Again, they've got 45 seconds from the time they take possession. Steps inside. Cassidy just puts that one down on the... oh, sorry, that's Abby Thorne.
Where is it? 60...
No, I think that's Cassidy.
Yeah.
Cassie Doster there with the goal, playing for the Australian Under-19s team. Sorry, they've changed a couple of numbers around here on us. So while the game is fast and furious, so is our eyes at the moment, Steph.
Yeah.
Just looks inside, and that one pops up and over, and the ball will come back to an Australian Under-19 stick. As we see, Cassidy kicks it over to Williams. And there we go. This is the bit of the game that if you catch out. So basically what happens is once the ball goes into offense, and a little pop over the top there. Really good finish there from Laura Evans.
And play on again.
And play on again. So really fast, non-stop. And good save there from Carly Evans. So got to be careful not to step over the halfway line there. So once the ball goes into offense, Steph, they obviously they have to keep one defender and one attacker back. And they play 4-on-4 down in the offensive end.
Definitely plenty of room. So
you don't mind playing 4-on-4, do you?
I'd love it. All that time and room.
So we're going to see a free space call here. So that is a 20-second penalty in this form of the game. Normally there's a free shot had. But the ball now comes out to the side. Obviously no women's fan in this particular game as Zeph Williams just picks the ball up. Kicks it over to Jade Williams. Looks at the top. Sorry, that's Cassidy Doster there.
Turnover.
And that shot didn't hit anything. So coming back the other way. So ball launched down the other end of the field. Ground ball to be won here. Cassie Doster. So that'll be a cover. Obviously, quick whistles in all of this. It looks inside and a good finish there. Great finish there from Mel Williams. So the Williams are starting to get on the board for both teams.
There's a few of them out there tonight.
There is. We were just thinking earlier that we could have Williams as on cue. Zeph Williams picks the ball up. Obviously coming off an all-star performance in the Nationals this year. As Karen Mortimer one-on-one looks. The other side now opens up. And just got to finish here. Good save up there from Tasha Skuse. And coming back the other way, but... just the women trying to get the pace of the game at the moment, and certainly they're going a bit quicker than they think they need to.
Yeah, they definitely just could hold on to it, slow down. I guess there's no visual shot clock, so they're a bit unaware of how much time they actually have.
Oh, drops again, and another good save there from the Australian Under-19 keeper as Brody comes down the side here. And Brody Borovnik just giving the ball up there to Jade Williams. Jade Williams with Zephyr Williams coming off the, obviously no relation, those two, as one comes from the land of the red, white and blue. Or I suppose we all come from the land of the red, white and blue, don't we?
Yes.
Really? And steps inside here, Indy
Good
Williams.
move.
And Indy Williams is on the board as well. So... Indy with another goal for the Australian Under-19s as substitutions become a real big part of this as Olivia Parker finds her way open and another big save there from Skuse.
She's done all right so far early on. A few one-on-ones, it's good.
And obviously that one has come off the keeper, so the umpire just reassessing the call as they're learning this game as well. But that was a save which went out. So first on was had by Karen Mortimer. And Karen Mortimer says, I kind of like the space we get down here with 4-on-4. As the ball comes back the other way.
And we're on again.
So ball going out of bounds there. Good work there from Olivia Parker, who kicks the ball up and over. As the Dana Johnson just goes about her work and goes past us here to pick that ball up. And Dana just pops it back to Olivia Parker. And that is quarter time. So if you blink, you miss it. And we have a 4-3 game here as the SA All-Stars against the under-19 Australian women's team certainly have a bit of a up-tempo here. And we're just about to be joined by Mr. Andrew Harris from the Australian Lacrosse Association. Andrew, welcome to the coverage here on the Australian Lacrosse Network and LSA TV of this 6v6, and that went really quickly, didn't it, that first quarter?
It certainly did, Tony, and thanks very much for the invite to come and join you for this quarter, and thanks especially to Lacrosse SA and particularly Lacrosse SA TV for putting on tonight, because I think it's a fantastic initiative, and one I'm really looking forward to watching, both the women's and the men's game. Absolutely.
Yeah. And what have you? Obviously, there's lots of things with lacrosse at the moment going on with our quick sticks, and obviously the 6v6, and then we've got all these other things going on. How are the ALA dealing with all of this at the moment, shall we say?
Yeah, it's a busy time, Tony. It really is a busy time, and sort of we're a bit like a duck. We sort of look calm and collected on the top of the water, but underneath we're going full-toed odds. And as you said, there is a lot happening in the world of lacrosse too. Yep. I must add, people would have seen that recently the World Association turned to World Lacrosse, and a whole lot of things around it, a name change. If you're following the coverage, you got the Europeans happening, the ASPACs has just happened, but realistically, lacrosse in Australia, I think we're at the beginning of a shift.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's happening from both the grassroots up to the international, I'm more than happy to have a chat. If we get a chance during the breaks, because boy, it's a quick game.
Well, here we go, because we've got a couple of superstars in the middle, mum and daughter, Mel Williams against Indy Williams, so bragging rights to be had here, and that ball will go to, and Mel gets that one out, so bragging rights to mum.
Oh, wise head.
But they're obviously that first quarter, apart from going really quickly with the 8-minute quarters, very transitional game, but they're certainly, they'll get to speed with this about half-time, I think.
Yeah. And look, realistically, you have to look at it and go, wow, you've got to be fit.
Yeah.
This is at the moment a game that's, in its very much its infancy, but already you can tell you've got to be fit.
There's a lot of up and back, isn't there? Obviously, that 45-second shot clock from the time the goalie either A, saves it or ball goes in. But 45 seconds is a long time, and at the moment, they're just sort of rushing through that and probably getting that 15 or 20 seconds without taking that full 45 seconds. And we see, obviously, the young under-19 Australian women's team here, which looking forward to seeing them go away, because if the under-18 championships and women's championships are anything to go by, they're going to have a cracker over there.
No, very exciting times. Those going off to Peterborough. Absolutely, and really looking forward to that. And they've had an extensive program leading up to this team, and they picked a very fit, skillful team. So we're looking forward to their performance at the under-19s, and certainly, once again, big expectations, but I'm sure they'll do us proud.
As another goal goes in there, and we see Eloise Rowe with another one, and we're just out to a 5-4 lead now after a couple Eloise put away, and that is Peterborough, not in Australia.
No.
That's obviously it is overseas. Although the tournament in Peterborough, South Australia, would certainly be an interesting concept. For our rural viewers, if they're on the live feed here.
But I guess one of the things, Tony, while there's a bit of a break, what I want to talk about was just this game is in its infancy.
Yep.
This really is a game that the world body are looking to develop in terms of taking it to the Olympics. This isn't going to replace what we play mainstream lacrosse day in, day out. There'll still be a World Championships where we continue to have that the same structure, etc. this is a hybrid game.
It is, which
term.
is why I came up with a name today. Perfect intro. In having a think, and we'll put it out to our viewers on the Australian Lacrosse Network and LSA TV. Send us your thought process of names for this. But my name was Lacrosse, LAX with a big X cross, being a hybrid club in golf. So that's my little bit. But obviously, there's a lot of smarter people out there who might have some really good ideas. So, if you send us a bit of a shout out on the Australian Lacrosse Network or LSA TV with your proposed name, and who knows?
Oh, absolutely, we'll put it forward.
Put it forward, shall we? So, if you've got a thought process of a name, and obviously there's been a few thrown around like Lax Sixes and Quick Lax and these sort of things. Your thought process on a...
Look, I think it's important that we keep the word cross perhaps in there at some point. But what that looks like, smarter marketing heads will probably get together and come up with something that's, you've got to think has got to be catchy, and talks about the nature of the game.
Yeah, and obviously it is, as you can see from now, it is a really fast-paced, quick game, which has a lot of transition in its lacrosse. Yeah. Obviously a 45-second shot clock and 8-minute quarters, so you don't get much time to think about, what you're doing. And while it's not the traditional lacrosse that we all know and love, because that's what we've done, there is a place because we've played soft cross for many, many years.
Yes,
and it is the go-to when the field game's not happening. So, this is certainly a step in the right direction to get us to an Olympic or proposed Olympic.
Look, I think we have to be realistic. The Olympic Games these days is really very much a TV event.
It
and drives most of its revenue from TV sponsors, ratings, etc., etc. So it has to be a game that appeals to a television audience. I guess the big benefit for lacrosse, because let's remember we're not there yet, is that in 2028, which we're aiming for, it's already in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
So it's already in America. The largest number of people that play lacrosse, probably interested in lacrosse, so the television audience is going to be there. So
that'll be massive.
Oh, absolutely. So that's a big plus. But there's a lot to happen between now and then. But there's not. Yes, it's 10 years away, but that will go in a blink of an eye.
It happens very quickly. I mean, you and I have sons and daughters.
Yeah.
And before you know it, they're driving.
Yeah. Thanks, Tony, for that.
Once upon a time, they were in your arms, and now they drive you, not necessarily home from the pub much, but but they certainly. But as you say, 10 years goes very quickly, and in the infancy of this concept.
Absolutely.
And I think it's great. I think it's really, really good as we see another goal go in there by Jade Williams.
Yep.
One of the obviously the Australian 19s team. We've got a couple of shall we say ring-ins?
Yep. Right.
Who aren't necessarily Australian. So Jade Williams, who could blend into the Williams clan because there's 4 out there tonight.
Yeah, all right.
She's with the Sturt Lacrosse Club. Come over from the other side of the ditch.
I guess with this game too, as it develops and sort of work out what it's going to actually look like, it's actually very exciting in regards to what it opens up for more people to participate.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because as you can see, it may be a different style of game. And I just want to reiterate that what we see tonight isn't it.
No, and that's why
it could look totally different in 8 years' time or 4 years or whenever. But what it does opens up the game to another type of athlete, perhaps, or the same athlete, or it just means there's more opportunities for the lacrosse playing fraternity to represent their country, and I think that's really important.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the more people we can get playing this great sport, and it's one of those sports that once you actually do play it, you never leave it.
Absolutely. And look, on that, and I know we're talking a bit instead of concentrating on the game, but that's okay.
Right, the game's going by very quickly here.
Yeah, you've given me the opportunity. One of the things I wanted to talk about tonight was quick sticks.
Yes.
We just had the biggest number of programs in any given school term this year, and we've actually hit the 20,000 participant mark.
Wow.
Which is a huge number of school-aged children that have been introduced to the game of lacrosse. And not only in those mainstream states of South Australia, Western Australia, Victoria, but in New South Wales, Queensland.
ACT?
Yeah, absolutely. And when you combine that, so you've got that end of the spectrum, and then we've just had the university games, where lacrosse has just been...
one of the SA teams won that one too.
Absolutely. I can't be biased now. I've got to be impartial here.
I can be biased.
You can.
Tonight.
But, it is, as I said, it is starting to happen. But that's when we need, and hopefully what we'll see is at the club level, they will take advantage of that.
Yeah, well, you often when you speak to anyone about lacrosse and they say, what do? If you're coaching or you're playing and you speak about lacrosse and they go, you know what? I did that in primary school.
Yeah.
And it's that how to bring the game from what they do and that quick sticks programs and that through there into club lacrosse and then into representative.
Yeah.
And this game opens up that.
Yeah.
To be honest.
And the other thing that we've started this year with the quick sticks is that it's gone into secondary schools,
which is fantastic.
So they are the participants that may have tried football, may have tried rugby, may have tried soccer, can't get to a certain level. Bam, is lacrosse for them.
Yeah.
And I think one of the great things about our sport is the representative side, to represent your state and to represent the country. At the moment, and I'm hoping that gets harder and harder and harder because the more participants we have, it will.
Yep.
You can't play for your country at football. To play for your country in soccer.
I played AFL,
yeah,
and I can tell you go to state representation, and then if you happen to get into that highest level of AFL, and then you play a hybrid game, which is Gaelic football, which is not football. So whereas this allows from a primary school through the secondary school to come through your club lacrosse, to come through there to represent your country.
Yeah,
and there's a lot of people out there who. When you ask kids at their age group, what's your number one thing you want to do, and their answer is, I want to represent my country.
Yeah.
This is another avenue.
You've just come back from the ASPACs.
Oh, fantastic!
How you and your son played? So how proud was he to play for his country?
Oh, amazing! And to be honest, the support from families and both here and home with obviously we have the with the internet these days, you're sort of round the corner from results and things, but the ability to play for your country just is an amazing thing. And and every parent over there, and I'm going to say I surprised him, didn't tell him I was coming. So but every parent over there was just as proud that they're a representative, and they have bigger and better dreams, and obviously at that world championship level where we play the outdoor game, and obviously we have the indoor game coming up this year.
Yeah, absolutely, in September.
With the Australian box. So
Langley, British Columbia.
So there's a whole range of different structures of the game that people can come into. So and represent at a international level.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there's nothing prouder, I don't think, as an Australian, than putting on green and gold. I've never actually done that as a player. Yeah. So one of our family members has, as has your son. Got that green and gold. So and it's a proud moment.
It certainly is. But I'd be interested to get the listeners or viewers' comments if there's any on what they think so far on this sort of the game in general. The pace of it, the skills. What are people's thoughts?
Well,
you've got some.
As a cross here, Kirsty Folder says the fitness level needed for this version of Lax absolutely brutal, but loving the fact that players have to play both ends. So obviously in the men's and women's games, predominantly you have a defender and you have an attacker. In this game, you don't. Without that subbing on and off. As we see, the score here is 9-8 at the moment for the under-19s. But the fact that they have to play defence and offence can only improve their game as well for that field game.
Yeah, absolutely.
But there's plenty of people watching. And Wayne Fox has come up with a name. It's Lasix, Lasix.
Lasix.
There you go, Wayne. So big shout out to you, mate. So if you've got a name that you would, you think rolls off your tongue, which sums this game up in a heartbeat, keep sending through your messages on here, and we've got one here from a young SA guy, Sam Hissey. Is there long poles in men's? The answer to that, Sam, is absolutely not. It is a short stick game, and while the defence is still going to be there, there is no long sticks in this form of the game. So that opens up another whole realm where long sticks, who are often really good short stick players, and you could see someone like, for instance, Cam Semler, who's going to play later, great long stick defender, who's now in the Australian box team as a shorty.
Correct.
This game's perfect. Both the short and long. So, and Daniel Edison says this is women's, Sam. Daniel, I think Sam might have already realised that. Maybe that's why he's watching. Young Sammy. So as the ball comes down here, and a shot is had there by Jade Williams, and we're out to I'm going to say a 10-8 game now, Steph. Are we about that?
Yeah, it's 10-8.
10-8?
Yeah, mate. Yep.
Hey, that's because Gilly's doing a great job there. Sorry, we've left you out of the conversation. Steph, have you got any questions for Andrew, mate?
Not off the top of my head. I'm just keeping score and enjoying watching this fast-paced game.
It's happening very quickly, isn't it?
Yes.
So we're probably about halfway through the third quarter here, and so obviously, look, coming up this year, we've got the women's under-19s.
Yep.
We've got the men's box. We've just had the ASPACs.
Yep.
Now, one of those things, the ASPACs, with 2021, where this version of the game at a World Championship will be played, is there any qualifications that we are looking at the moment through an Asia-Pacific tournament?
Well, it's interesting you should bring that up, Tony, because we're only in discussions at the moment with World Lacrosse in terms of the ASPAC tournament in regards to, because if you look at the senior men's, both Japan and Australia have qualified. For the next senior, but because they're in the blue group, so there's an automatic qualification. Automatic qualification, but we're just getting the structure verified for what that next ASPACs looks like.
Okay.
So I'm not going to say one way or the other what it looks like because we don't know.
Okay.
But I would hate to think that we would not be part of that just because we've qualified, because I think it's a bit of our responsibility as a strongest or stronger country in ASPAC that we help with the other countries' development, and I'm sure they don't want to certainly us for not to attend either. So we're just getting that verified at the moment, and look, that's where I suppose the community needs to be a bit patient in terms of what's it going to look like, how's it change, because that is a big change for the men's side of the World Championships.
Yeah, absolutely.
The fact that but the really exciting part is that perhaps that opens the door for Australia one day to host it. Yeah,
look, 100%, and I think seeing the lacrosse we're seeing at the moment, and the girls just starting to get, as that one comes off the post, the girls just starting to get a bit more with the pace of this game. Although they're all looking a bit like they're puffing out there at the moment. I would have run up and back by now, Andrew, and I'll be looking for a sub. Look, and I think the one thing that for me, when I did go to the ASPACs this year, was the camaraderie between the teams, and it was literally like, the Australian guys were helping China, and vice versa. There was some everyone wants to see the game bigger and better. And everyone wants to improve their own nation within that game. This game certainly will improve their stick skills.
And look, no doubt about it, that Asia Pacific region, if you look at pure population, the World Lacrosse Organisation, it must be a target area, because realistically, 3/4 of the population are going to live in that area. And so, you look at China, India, and other areas, there's massive population growth there, so there's massive opportunity. It's just getting it in there.
And in Australia's foray into that, with the numbers per capita of people that play, someone like in India, with the number of people just per capita of head, become a real threat if they get some, because of their and that's because Australia is really, as we do as Australians, batted above our weight for a long time. But these other countries are certainly catching up.
But I guess it's that's going to take some time. Our biggest challenge, or one of our biggest challenges at the ALA, is certainly our footprint in the world of sport in Australia because of all the other major sports.
Yep.
And it's the job that you guys do, the ALN do, is fantastic in getting the game out there. We're trying different ways. We're actually just going through a look at our branding at the moment as an association. So what that looks like going forward. So that's a really exciting prospect. So we're actually able to compete with these other sports in a whole lot of areas that that it's hard to do, but you need to do it in order to grow the sport.
Yeah, and obviously we've got the Australian Lacrosse Foundation as well.
Correct.
So
correct,
that's
correct.
If anyone has, because you can make donations to the Australian Lacrosse Foundation.
Tax deductible donations.
Well, it's a good time of the year to
tax
make.
Deduct,
well, maybe for next year now.
Yeah.
But certainly, as a business, if you are looking at putting your money into something that is up and coming, this is something that if anyone's watching out here that has some spare money,
absolutely,
get in touch with the Australian Lacrosse Association and the Australian Lacrosse Foundation.
Correct. And look, we're also looking for sponsorship at this point in terms of naming rights sponsor for Quick Sticks.
Yep.
I'm keen to.
And if you've got 20,000 kids that are amongst it, that's a really good sponsorship opportunity, especially with the young people of today.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's where they remember things back in, in that younger years where you always remember something that's a bit skewiff.
Yep.
So what a perfect opportunity to get on board with the major sponsor of the Quick Six program.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, look, really, before I leave you and let you actually commentate on the game, I guess the other thing I just want to promote and talk about is the under-15s.
Yep.
So the ALA under-15 tournament is in Adelaide this year.
Yes, looking forward to having it in sunny Adelaide.
At the Richmond Football Club Oval.
Yes.
West Adelaide Football Club, at Richmond.
Yep.
A really great venue, very similar to Norwood, where we hold. I know the LSA holds its grand finals.
Yep.
I think that's been very successful. But looking at 20 plus teams,
which is massive.
Huge. Yeah. So I think it will be the biggest tournament we've had.
I mean, when you think there's 17 players aside, and you've got 22 teams.
Yes.
That's you're talking about 380 odd people.
Yes.
Just with quick maths.
Yeah. Well, and then their parents, their supporters.
Yep.
So I would really encourage people to sort of come along and have a look at that.
So do we have a sponsor for the under-15s yet?
Not yet.
Okay, so
I'm
another
working on it.
Great opportunity. If you're watching this live and free on the Australian Lacrosse Network and LSA TV, and you're thinking of putting some sponsorship money, the under-15s tournament with many people.
And I can tell you now, the reach that the ALN coverage gets with that tournament is huge. So any business that wants to reach an audience through the medium of social media, absolutely, get on board.
Absolutely.
Just contact us at ALA.
And we obviously just saw the Maverick Challenge over in this. There's a lot of lacrosse going on.
And absolutely, Tony. And that was a fantastic workout for the under-19s men's squad against a couple of quality teams. And once again, you talk about that camaraderie, but that sort of they're still in that competitive edge because they're only the squad, and so they're still to pick the team. But another fantastic tournament. In Melbourne, absolutely, on the weekend. So, you're right. There is a lot going on. We've also got involvement with both men's and women's teams in the World Games coming up too. So really, it's the thing that makes me proud about being associated with lacrosse when we think about it is that we do all this activity, we do all these events, and really we are probably one of the most pure amateur sports around.
Yeah, absolutely.
So people do it for the love, they pay for it. We try our best to get some sort of sponsorships, etc. But most people are doing this game for the love of it, and that's what keeps me involved day in, day out.
As does all of us as a very volunteered sport. And as you can see, even like with all the guys that are set up here for the Australian Lacrosse Network and LSA TV, everyone's certainly putting their hand up to do this. So because we want to see this great sport of ours just become even bigger.
Oh, well, thanks, Tony. I'm going to let you get on and
Andrew
commentate
Harris,
the game.
thank you very much for coming down and having a chat, mate.
Anytime.
And
Anytime.
We'll get on to Steph, because Steph's been watching what's happening out in the game here, and apologies to the women, it's not that, but there's so much going on with lacrosse here at the moment in Australia. And the score at the moment just blossoming out there at 14-9, the way of the under-19, Steph.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, they just kept chipping away and just building this lead slowly but surely. You definitely see that these girls have been well trained by Trish with their fitness and stick skills in this new game or this new format.
So obviously in a penalty situation at the moment, so a man-down situation where the ball has missed the net, so that will actually turn over. And it's been a little bit up and back while we were speaking to Andrew there.
Yeah, it has been, mate. Yeah, they're starting to pile on the goal, so I don't think they're getting back into defence just as quick as they want to do with offence. So
and who's dominating the scoreboards at the moment there, Steph?
Well, Eloise Rose had a few tonight. She's not doing too bad. And then with the girls, Karen's got 4, and there's a bit of a spread for the rest.
Oh,
so.
Great interception as on cue, Indy Williams. Just a little bit of razzle-dazzle, and she says, not before I finish the night will I not get another one on my mark.
A little bit of a dip and dunk there.
Hat trick for her now.
Yes.
So really good interception. You can see that raw pace through the midfield as the ball turns over down the back here. And pace coming back the other way. Steph, how do you reckon you and I'd go in this?
Yeah, mate, I'd be sitting on the bench probably. I don't think I'd be getting out there too often.
As we see Jade Williams put another one away there for the under-19 Australian team. And a long bomb down, but Taisha Skuska's not in my house, you don't. As Dana Johnson brings it back the other way, and she's got pace to burn too. So a little inside, and there's another one. Dana Johnson getting on the board, and the score just starting to blossom out now. And we've got a timeout called to the SA All-Stars here. And so the timeout situation here is they have a 30-second timeout. They're allowed 2 timeouts per half. But 30 seconds is not long, is it?
It's not long, mate, but I reckon these SA girls might need this. They're needing a few breathers here, I reckon, here. They're getting a bit behind.
As we just hear Courtney Hobbs talking to her players there.
No,
sorry, that's Trish. Sorry, Trish is mic'd up.
1, 2, 3!
I was trying to pick up the voice there, but
definitely Trish.
that's why you're here, mate.
Yeah, mate, yeah.
Just for when I make dyslexic mistakes. That was definitely the voice of Trish Adams, and she certainly brings some experience. She'd be really looking forward to this under-19 4A.
Yeah, another under-19 campaign for Trisho. So I'm not sure how many she's done, but she's done a few, and she's got a world of knowledge.
And Olivia, who normally runs up and down the field, is looking a little like I've had enough running up and down the field with this game. As you see her break back.
I'm sure that SA girls
Brody
will be looking forward to
no one's
this.
coming to her. Brody just steps inside. Great save. And that has come off the keeper, so there'll be a first-on situation. And Karen Mortimer will be that person, so she'll bring it in. Kicks it up here to Laura Evans, who looks inside, and that will be Taisha Skuse with the ball. She's got 5 seconds to get out of the cage, and Dana Johnson says, all right, well, I'm coming back the other way. Oh, good look. Oh, a little shovel there was very good by Cassie Duster, but just missed everything.
She did, luckily for her, didn't go out of bounds, and that Aussie girls have got the ball again.
And, good pressure there. As good. Oh, that's going to be a 20-second penalty here. So
I thought that was all right.
The Australian 19s, yeah. Well, what normally would be a yellow or a continuation becomes a 20-second penalty for the women's game.
Got to enjoy a good man
and
up.
Steps down. Oh, just misses the cage, and that'll turn over. So no damage done there for the SA All-Stars. We've got about 2.5 minutes to go in this first game, and then we're going to bring out the boys. And
this should be interesting.
The boys should be interesting because. Steph, if you and I had our opportunities, and not that I can shoot from a long way, but I'll tell you, if I get it out of the centre and I'm on that centre circle, mate, that's nearly shooting range for you.
Yeah, I'll be keeping a good eye out for Jessie Winnan, Toddy Bartlett. Those boys are
after a couple you shot on the weekend, mate, that rip top corners.
Yeah, I was nice and close to the crease.
You don't ever want to get too far away from the crease. As big save there from Carly Evans. Carly Evans just goes, I'm going to throw it down this end, and the goalie to goalie. Maybe she'll throw it back the other way, yep. But hits Indy Williams there. And that play could work. But good save down low. Comes off the keeper, but great rebound there from Doster. Kicks it up to Williams so that once that shot is had and it comes off the keeper, they get another 45 seconds as well. So plenty of time to work something here. As great knockdown there from Mel Williams. Just says, Indy, I know what's going on. So there's a goalie. Is the goalie going to come? No. Mortimer just pops that one.
Is that all clear?
That one's come.
No, not all clear.
That was all.
No.
I thought maybe there wasn't a signal, but I thought she started counting for the 5, so we're going to have no goal here. And Jess Page has a 20-second penalty. So there, where those normal infractions in the women's game come from, where they get that free shot, Steph, that we'd all love in the men's game.
Very much so.
Now they get a 20-second penalty.
Which is also good. I don't mind a good man up.
Yeah, there's nothing better than playing man up as an attacker.
That's right, even though I can't really shoot. But the big boys can definitely let rip, I reckon, in this format.
Steps in, and Jade just gets pushed into the circle. And ground ball to be won here. And good work there from Liv Parker. Kicks it down to Jess Page. And this is where that one really could have come off well, where she came out of the penalty situation. And Jess Page runs down the side. But we've got an offside here on the SA All-Stars with very limited time to go in this game. And the score has blossomed out to 17-9. But a really good exhibition by all the women out there tonight.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, it's looked really good. I'm loving the pace, and the new rules are good too. So 17-9, I think the bit of the old fitness of the under-19 girls really paid off in the end.
It did, and obviously scorers for the game there. We were, as we just get through them, I think Eloise Rowe had an outstanding game there for the under-19 Australian team.
Yeah, I think she had 4 or 5 definitely.
So 5 goals in what in this game probably turns out to be an MVP performance, and I think Marty's going to catch up with her out there. So as the girls just go through, and we're going to get Eloise to pop over here, Steph, so we can have a quick chat to her. I'm sure, as they all do, they love coming and having a chat with us.
Yeah, they do.
After the game. And you can see the 2 girls from overseas there who snuck into the Australian 19 team. They're just at the top of the camera there, just saying hi to Mum and Dad.
Yeah, I'm sure they might be watching back home. Be nice and early for them.
So Jade and Cassidy, big shout out to you girls, and thank you for joining in this evening. Obviously, Jade with Lazy 4 as well, and Cassidy Doster with a couple. So when we get a second, we'll go through the goal scorers here. Do you want to flip through them for us?
Yeah, mate.
So
yeah.
Australian 19 team.
So Dana had 2. Eloise Rowe, I believe, had 5. Dossett, the American, had 2. We've got Indy with 3, and the other American, Jenny, is it?
Sorry, so we've got Jade Williams.
Jade Williams, sorry, had 4.
Had 4, so Lazy. And on the SA All-Star side, we've got the scorers there.
Yeah, mate, if I've got it right. Jess Page had 1, Karen had 4, Beth had 1, Laura had 2, and Mel had 2 as well.
Casaro with
Casaro, I think she had 1 and 2, and Olivia had 3 assists.
So Liv doing plenty of work up and down the line. She looked like she was certainly running there, Liv, didn't she?
Yeah, she enjoys the marathons, so she doesn't mind the running. Yeah.
So 8 minute quarters with very limited break, and as we see Eloise Rowe just coming towards us, so we'll be able to have a quick chat with her as she comes over, and we'll just get her mic'd up. Eloise, we appreciate your time. Have a seat. Get to sit down while they're all doing their warm downs. How did you find that game? Bit up and back?
I think it was a lot of fun. Really fast paced though. So.
And
Yeah.
before you blink, the quarter's over.
Yeah, it went really quick. No stop clock either. So.
And a lazy 5 goals tonight.
Yeah.
Just finishing off at
Yeah.
the right end.
Bit lucky, some of them.
Bit
but
lucky.
Yeah.
And how's the preparation going for the Australian 19 girls at the moment? You must be really excited because
Yeah,
it's
we're-
not far away.
Yeah, really pumped up. 6 more sleeps and we go.
6 sleeps.
So yeah.
Not counting at all.
Nah.
No?
Not counting.
Yeah. And how this obviously concept coming in as a younger player towards potential Olympic qualifications. Be happy to play the Olympic game in this sort of style.
Yeah, definitely. It was heaps of fun.
Yeah?
So yeah.
And maybe not as much body happening out there. As
Nah, it wasn't as rough as we thought.
Yeah.
Not like the penalties were shorter time, so we had to back it off a bit.
Yeah, so obviously a 20-second penalty and that 40-second penalty. But how's that? The free space and the
Yeah, no fan.
No
There's
fan.
no free shots. So
There's no free
that was
shots.
interesting.
Goalies
but-
are actually going. We've got enough to deal with out here.
Yeah.
With the quick pace.
Yeah.
But very transitional. And,
yeah, heaps are up and back.
And you could see players like even Liv Parker on the other side, who's pretty fit.
Yeah, it was so fast paced.
She was starting to certainly feel it a little bit.
Yeah.
As all the girls over there just giving you grief. All right, well, fantastic job tonight.
Thank you.
We've given you the MVP of the game this evening, and this
Thanks.
what is I've called it Lacrosse, but everyone out there in the land, send us
Yeah.
your names. Fantastic job. We wish you all the best for 6 days, and
Thank you.
we'll all be behind you, and bring us home some gold, will you?
Thanks, hope so.
No worries. Thanks,
Thank you.
Eloise. Appreciate that. Has Steph and I just come in? Look at that. They're the 2 prettiest heads in television land, aren't they?
Oh, definitely, mate. Yeah.
So obviously the men, as they start to come out here, we see the svelte figure of Sammy Kilford just coming out in the green and gold. Mate, you won't mind throwing a few comments his way, will you?
Yeah, no, I'll enjoy it, mate. I gave him a few on the weekend, so I can't wait to continue that.
Can't wait to continue
Yeah,
it, mate.
yeah.
In the concept of this, we get to give him a little bit. So
That's right.
yeah, but so what we're going to do now is we're going to have a quick break here while the men get ready, and we look forward to seeing you very shortly for the men's game here for the 6v6 on the Australian Lacrosse Network and Lacrosse SA TV. So until then, we'll see you in a few minutes.